Hey guys, so I'm running low on clay in the studio. So I thought today I'd take you along, show you the entire process of harvesting and processing clay so you can see how I get my clay from the raw material all the way to the final product that I use in the studio to make pottery. So come along as I harvest and process wild clay today here in southern Arizona. You might remember I dug clay here a few months ago, made a video of it. If you don't, I'll put the link to that video over here. Also, I made a pot out of this clay in a recent video. I'll put the link to that over here as well if you're interested. It's just some clay that's in Pima, Arizona, a place where a lot of prehistoric pottery was made, and it's turning out to have some pretty good properties that I like. So I've come back here. This will be my second time I'm collecting a lot more clay. Okay, I'm back in my studio. I got my clay and I'm going to start grinding it up. Let me show you the other things I've got going on here. This is the pot I made in my last video, and some people had asked to see the bottom. So here it is, all smoothed out, ready to be slipped with different colored slips or decorated, and then complete the drying process and fire it. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm keeping it wrapped up right now because I don't have time to I haven't had time to slip it yet, that's all. Okay, and these are some gourds. So I had originally grown a bunch of gourds in my garden for use as gourd scrapers that I use in making pottery. And I was selling those gourd scrapers on my website. And I recently kind of ran out of gourds, so I had to purchase some more. So I went up to the Wirtz Gourd Farm in Casa Grande, Arizona, and you should check that out if you're interested in gourd craft because they've got gourds of all different shapes and sizes. Anyways, I went through and tried to find gourds with thinner rinds because I didn't want, big, heavy, thick gourd scrapers. And so I just got these back recently, and I've been kind of cutting them open and just seeing what I have inside there. I still have some more to go through, but that's what I've been doing, and that's why there's all this stuff on my workbench right now. Is I'm dealing with gourds. I've got an order of gourd scrapers to get out. I've got this pot that needs slip, and this is my handy corn grinder that I use to grind this clay up. So you're going to see me doing that. So I've got this set on a pretty fine setting. This clay is fairly soft, so it's easy to grind. You got to watch out. There's a fair number of rocks in it, and so I'm kind of visually scanning these rocks before I put it into the hopper, because some of these rocks are really hard and they're really difficult to get through. And then I reload the hopper and I do it again, and I do it about 100 more times until I get through this whole bucket of clay. Okay, I'm not done grinding all of my clay. I got two 5-gallon buckets, so I'm about halfway through one bucket. So a couple gallons of clay. But I'm gonna go ahead and mix some up now. I don't have to grind it all now if I don't want to. And just for the expediency of making this video, I'm gonna go ahead. So I measure my clay dry as a ratio of temper. So I can use any container. In this case, I'm using a little earthenware bowl that I made some years ago. I can use any measurement to measure it. And I'm just gonna count how many scoops, how many level scoops. 7. 8. 9. So we're about 9 scoops. If I want to mix my temper in at a 4-to-1 ratio or 20%, that'd be a little over 2 scoops. So now I can grind my temper knowing exactly how much I need to grind and only grind as much as I need. So I'm going to grind my temper, and in this case I'm going to use broken pottery sherds. So if you've been watching my videos for a while, you've seen the one where I threw all the old pottery off the roof. If you don't remember seeing that one, I'll put the link to it up here if you want to watch it. So I had a bunch of old pottery, test pots, things that didn't come out so good, and I decided to get rid of them, so I broke them. And now I can grind those up and use them for temper because ground up pottery sherds make excellent temper. And I need about 2 of these scoops, so I know how much temper I need. And some of these probably require a little more breaking with my screwdriver. Okay, let's see what I've got here. I don't think I've got enough yet, but I'm getting there. There's 1. And I needed just over 2. So it's something less than 2. You can see there. I'm most of the way to 2. Now we're over 2. I've got at least 2 there, and I've got a good part of 1 there, so I'm going to call that good. Now to mix the clay up, I'm just going to pour it back and forth between these 2 buckets until the temper and the clay are all mixed together. Make sure you do this in a well-ventilated place, or if you have to do it indoors, use a respirator because it is dusty. So I put the clay here, I've hollowed out an area here, and I'm going to pour water into it. I want to fill it all the way up. Add a little more. It gets sucked up pretty fast. At this point, I'll let this sit for a couple of days at least, and then bring it out and work it, knead it all through again. Because you've got all those tiny little particles of clay and those bits of temper that are all absorbing moisture at this point. And so when I come back in a couple of days, it's gonna be a lot more plastic and it will have dried out some, which is why I poured extra water in after I put it in the bin. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments and I'll answer them. If you want to learn more about finding wild clay, check out this video over here, which will go more in depth on that. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.